Yorgel Kuchbajo. A little bit different than the standing in the kitchen with my bathrobe in the early morning hours, or sitting in a dark car in the driveway of Skippa Smith. So good morning from Brunswick. And you know what? I gotta tell you, this is a nice jacuzzi. It really is a nice jacuzzi. I think that Skippa Smith, if you're watching this video, will you please get one of these jacuzzis out there off of the living room for, when I come and visit. You and I could do a video together, Skip, in the just soaking in the jacuzzi. So anyway, it's hard not to be in a good mood with the sun out and soaking in a nice tub such as this. But and yes, I am wearing a swimsuit. Okay, so no worries there. Where was that I did a video sometime back in the bathtub? I can't remember exactly where that was. Somewhere during my travels in the autumn, I think that was. But anyway, so you know what? I went to bed last night. It must have been 10:30 or 11 o'clock when I finally got to sleep. And lo and behold, I wake up at about 3 or 3:30 today, and my mind just starts racing. It's interesting. I'm working on this damn project with the geolocating. So I would be curious to know if some of you might help me out. If you go to the problem that I'm having is with this Google map. Those of you that have been following me, I'm doing this geocoding thing. And when you go to a website and they'll say, such and such website wants to access your location, and you have to allow or don't allow. I'd be curious to know what percentage of you out there watching this video, those who care to share, are you more apt to allow them to know your location or disallow them to know your location? For me, it doesn't really matter one way or the other. It depends. If I'm on a website and I'm looking for something, like I'm looking for a Starbucks near me, of course I'm going to let them allow them to know my location, because I want to find a Starbucks near me. But if I'm sitting at home in my pajamas and I'm looking at websites that I probably shouldn't be looking at, then I don't want them to know where I'm sitting, and it's not very often that I don't remember the last time that I looked at a website that I shouldn't look at. I can't remember. I don't remember the last time I looked at a website that I really shouldn't be looking at. I'd be curious to know how many of you out there are looking at websites that you shouldn't be looking at, and how often you're looking at those websites that you shouldn't be looking at. And you know the websites that I'm talking about. So anyway, so the challenge that I have is I don't really need your permission to have an idea as to where. I don't really need your permission to have an idea as to where you're located. I mean, I'm never going to be able to pinpoint, the roof on your house over, using Google Maps based upon you visiting my website. That's not going to happen anytime soon. But every time you're sitting at your computer and you go to a website such as I had you go yesterday, that request goes through your internet service provider, be it Comcast or Cox Media or whatever it is. That request goes through your internet provider, and it goes to a hub. And the hub might be a mile down the road. The hub might be 5 miles down the road. Something like that. And when that request goes to that hub, that's the IP address that I'm recording and using. So generally speaking, that IP address is in close enough proximity to you that I have a general idea as to where you're at. But when you start throwing mobile phones into the picture, now mobile phones take up about half of the internet. I mean, you can't go anywhere in public without seeing people with their phone in their hand. You know, it's all about cell phones. So the problem with cell phones is that you're on your wireless carrier. And for example, I went in today, and I would ask that you do this for me. Just go in and just go into a browser, or even on your phone, and just type in, what is my IP address? IP, like India Papa. What is my IP address? And go ahead and click on it. You might have to make a click or two, but it shouldn't be too difficult to find out where they're showing you as being, and tell me if it's accurate. Yeah, are they showing you as being in the same city? Like, for example, when I do what is my IP address here in Brunswick, Georgia, which is out on the coast, it's coming back telling me I'm in Atlanta, and Atlanta is 4 hours from here, and I'm not in Atlanta. So anyway, that is just yet another another obstacle that I need to address, is being able to as accurately as possible detect a user's location. If you those of you out there in the United States only, but if you go to CertifiedTransmission.com and you see a little link up at the top in the navigation bar that says locations, it means that you are somewhere in the vicinity of a marker on the map. If you go to that website and you don't see a button that says locations, it means that you're not near any of the markers on the map. So we don't want to be teasing people going to the website and they're not near a installation center. We don't want to be teasing them, you know, making them think that they can buy one of these products when in fact they can't, because they're not near a location. So that's the challenge. I would be curious to know from you out there, you know, how accurate is that? Just go to just on Google, just type in, what is my IP address, and just let me know if it comes back close. You know, maybe do it on your cell phone. Yeah, that'd be a better indication for me. But just on your cell phone, what is my IP address? And just let me know if it comes back telling you somewhat close, like a mile or two from your location, or if it's like Atlanta, like mine was. But anyway, so not much else is on my mind. You know, I'm sitting here, and I don't know if I can share this with you. Maybe I can. Look at this. See, this is why I don't want to buy an RV right there. You see, you just got something big ass like a bus sitting around, you know, taking up space, figuring out what you're going to do with it, where you're going to store it, what you're going to, you know, I don't need something that big. You know, 'tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free. 'Tis a gift to, well, I don't know how that Shaker hymn goes, but you see, I don't want something like this just sitting there, you know, in my backyard, becoming dilapidated, you know, to the point where you just got to haul it off to a junkyard eventually. You know, it's not really what I'm in for. Just give me a new Dodge 2019 Ram pickup truck, you know, with the ventilated seats and the 12-inch display and the panoramic sunroof, okay, and the advanced cruise control and lane detection, you know, all that stuff. Just give me that and my little guy Max camper. That's all I need. You know, that's all I need. I don't need a big ass stinking RV. Just give me a nice little camper that I can, you know, do the essentials in and sleep comfortably and go from one place to the other But that's all that I really want. And what else is on my mind? You know, yesterday there was a brief discussion of me finding the right woman, and I just got off a conversation with a woman from a dating website, and she looked really like a nice lady, and we were actually talking on the phone, and then, you know, she tells me that well, I'm not going to go into too many of the specifics, but she's in an unfortunate situation where she's like $50,000 in debt, you know, from from some school loan in the school. It's one of those situations where, you know, she got hooked into, you know, going to some vocational college or something like that. And and here she is, you know, 49 years old, and no college degree to speak of, and you know, $50,000 in debt, and everything. And I'm just listening to that thinking, you know, is that a situation that I want to walk into, you know? And not necessarily so, you know. But then again, on the flip side, you know, and in all fairness, she doesn't know that she was talking to a guy that talks to a camera every morning, you know, in a darkened car, or dimly lit kitchen in his bathrobe. So she didn't know that. She didn't know that that's what she's walking into, you know. So you just never know when it comes to relationships. You just really never know. And like I was telling her, there's something to be said about the song "Fools Rush In." You know, you meet somebody, you get all giddy, you got that physical chemistry going on, and next thing you know, you're rolling around doing things way too early that you shouldn't be doing, you know. And then, you know, and then that little honeymoon period is over, and you start to get to know the real person, and that's when it gets really challenging. So anyway, like I was telling her, you know, she was asking me, you know, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? And she asked me, am I looking for a hookup? You know? Now, Skip, you know, I know when you hear the word hookup, you're thinking, okay, well, yeah, what kind of electricity do I get, and can I hook up my sewage, and can I hook up my cable TV and all that kind of stuff, okay? But she was talking about something else, Skip. She wasn't talking about those kind of hookups. She was talking about, you know, people that use dating websites just for casual, intimate experiences. You know, no strings attached. That's the kind of hookup that she was looking for, Skip, or asking me about, Skip Smith, not the hookups for the RV, okay? But anyway, so you know, I told her that as I've often told people in the past, I'm not looking for anything. You don't go through life. I don't think that you go through life looking for love. You go through life being open to love and being willing to love. So you got to be open to being loved, and you have to be willing to give love. And that's it. You don't look for love. Love more times than not will find you rather than you find it. It's not something, love isn't something that you can control. It's not something that you can turn on and turn off like a light switch. It's just when love happens, it happens. And you know, the situations, you know, I could meet somebody who is $1 million in debt, and if I love her, that's not going to matter. You know, it's not going to matter. So that's my philosophy on I don't know if it's a philosophy or not, but those are my thoughts on love. I will eventually I will find somebody. You know, I got to tell you that traveling alone and going to sleep at night alone and waking up alone. Yesterday I was going all through the islands alone. You know, it's not a lot of fun. You get used to it. You know, you get used to it after a while, but it's not a lot of fun. Life is much better to be shared. Life is much better to be shared than to be spent living alone. And I recognize that. And for me to deny something like that would be would be indicative that I'm not in the healthiest mental state of mind. But but anyway. Last but not least, you know, I woke up this morning early, and I decided to go out and grab myself a breakfast. And I walked out of the house, and it was a beautiful morning. The stars were out. It wasn't too cold, wasn't too warm. It's just one of those ideal mornings. And I walked out, and as I walk into my car, I found myself thinking, boy, Tom, you're living the good life. You're living the good life, you know. And you know, to some people, they look at they look at a statement like that, and it's you can go through life thinking, you know, you're living a good life uh, in many regard, but you know, when I think about something like that, when I think about something like that, you know, I may be living the good life, but living the good life is relative. You know, for many other people out there who look at my life, they say, how can he even come close to calling that a good life? And then, you know, there's countless other people out there who would give anything to live the life that I live. And it's all really relative. And the thing that I find most interesting about life is that, you know, I mean, oftentimes I I I will visualize this thing we call Earth spinning through space at 1,000 miles an hour, or a little bit over 1,000 miles an hour. And for those of you that don't know, if you were on the equator and you started walking in one direction or the other, west or east, it would take you 24,901 miles to make a full circle around the Earth. 24,901 miles for a full circle around the Earth. Well, there's 24 hours in a day, so the Earth is spinning at a little bit more than 1,000 miles an hour. Next time you're going down the highway and you're doing about 70 miles an hour, just multiply that by about 14, okay? And that's how fast the Earth is spinning through space. And oftentimes I think that when you come into this world, you know, at the for those of you that believe in the hereafter, for those of you that believe in eternity and life after death and all that good stuff, for those of you that believe that, you have to believe in the idea of a soul. Everyone's got a soul. For those of you that don't believe in that, then, you know, I don't know what the point in living is, but anyway, for those of you that do believe that within you and within myself and everyone else that there is a soul, you know, it kind of makes you wonder, how does this whole selection process work? You know, you got this ball spinning through space at 1,000 miles an hour. Is there like a soul machine? You know, is there like a centralized soul machine, and it's just spitting out souls at the rate of people conceiving, you know, and it just matters, you know, where that Earth happens to be in its revolution, where that Earth happens to be in its revolution at that moment of that conception. That's where your soul is destined to be. You know, is your soul destined to be in the slums of India, the jungles of the Amazon, the jacuzzis of Brunswick, you know, Georgia? Where is your soul, you know, where is your soul ultimately destined to be? And it's something that you have absolutely no control over. You know, you have no control over that. It's just an interesting consideration in life that you know, who you're born to, the family that you're born into, the parents that you're born to, and the financial, you know, all the financial considerations, the health, the genetics, all that type of stuff. You have absolutely no control over it. And you know, when I go through life and I see myself, quote unquote, living the good life, I don't take that for granted. I don't take that for granted, because it was just by nothing less than the Lord's blessing that that I was brought into the world in the way in the place that and the circumstances that I was brought into the world. And there's those people out there that are living their life, and they're never going to have what I have. In all likelihood, they're never going to. I try to take the word never out of my vocabulary, but in all likelihood, these people are never going to have the life that I have. And for me to go through life, you know, thinking that I am, quote unquote, living the good life, you know, it's, and I guess the best, to be in a position where you're satisfied with your life, to be in a position where you're satisfied with your life, where you like who you are, you like where you are, you like what you are, it's a very, very fortunate place to be. It's a very, very, very fortunate place to be. And I don't take it for granted. Not for a second do I ever take my disposition in life for granted. I I uh, I value and I cherish the I value and I cherish the situation that life has provided me. And I know, I know that in an instant, my life could change. Something like a tree branch could fall down on me and alter me forever. I could be driving down the road today, texting when I shouldn't be, and driving and cause an accident and end up in jail for 20 years or something like that. I never take life for granted. Never once do I take life for granted. And so living the good life. Um, it's hard to deny that I'm not living the good life. And to be quite honest with you, I hope all of you are living the good life also. I hope you wake up every day just like I did today, and you walk out into the morning air and you say, I'm living the life I want. I'm living the dream I want. I'm living, I'm living the good life. And so, but one can only hope that for others. But anyway, so that is it. So I'll leave you with a question for you to think about. And the question is, what if anything is too serious to be joked about? What if anything is too serious to be made fun at or to be joked about? And if I remember tomorrow in my video, I'll share my answer. But I'd be curious to know what your answer is. What if anything is too serious to be joked about? All right. Have a great day, and take